Um, I'm going to start this video by giving you my short and long-term predictions, but we're not going to spend too much time on that because in the end, those are just predictions. That's just my opinion. What we're actually going to focus on in this video, something a little different to cheer you up. I'm going to tell you. So, however much down however bloody your bags are, most likely, they're not as bad as losing 1.1 Bitcoin forever, right? So I'm going to tell you the true story of how I lost 1.1 Bitcoin, and this was years ago. But yes, every single word of that is the truth. And so that'll probably make you feel a little bit better, even if you're down a couple thousand or 10, 20, 30,000, 50,000, this is still worse. So hopefully that'll, make you feel like, oh, at least I didn't not, that bad off. Here we go. First off, my predictions for the crypto market. I know it's pretty shitty out there. We're all hurting. And, I think though in the short term, we are getting very close to the bottom. We've been, this is like a record breaking amount of time we've been in the extreme fear territory for Bitcoin and most of the alt market as well. For like days in a row, we haven't even I don't even think we've peaked above into like normal fear. It's just been extreme fear, whatever the last few weeks. So it's been pretty brutal. Now that said, can we squeak a little bit lower? Of course we can, and most likely we will. I think it's like also in terms of like pattern recognition, the Chinese New Year typically coincides with lows in the market because big, let's say Chinese people with big pockets are not doing anything during their New Year. They're just celebrating and they're spending time with family. From what I've told, I'm not Chinese myself, but yeah, that's what I've heard. So they're out, they're not looking at the charts, they're not trading, so they're just kind of on vacation, and yeah, so that typically coincides with lows in the market, though soon after that we should bottom out. And what I've been saying for quite a while is we're definitely overdue for at least a relief rally, if nothing else. That means I'm, being very conservative. Let's just say Bitcoin gets us back to the 80Ks before, even if you think, oh, we're just going to go low and it's going to go down to zero and whatever. There's always a relief rally. Even in bear markets, there's always some kind of bounce or relief, move up. And so that I'm just being super conservative. I'm like saying, hey, if you even believe we're going to go lower, which I say I think we will, a little bit at least, even if that's Bitcoin to the mid 50Ks, I think something like that's very possible. But we should get some relief first. So yeah, I would just hang in there, and I probably would say the next like week or two should be, let's say less than 2 weeks. I'll just make it specific. Less than 2 weeks, Bitcoin should find its bottom, a local bottom, and then we go up from there. Okay, and yeah, at least get a little bit more relief before we go anything lower. So I would not at this point, if you haven't sold yet, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm just hanging in there, white knuckling it, and once Bitcoin gets to the, let's say, above 80K, then I'll consider selling some of my bags just to be on the safe side, and taking some stable, some money into cash and stable coins, and paying off some loans and all that stuff. But we are far away from that. Okay, so yeah, just hang in there. The worst, if it's not over, it's going to be over in the next week or two. And then we should get some relief, at least some green. All right. And then what I've said pretty much every video, I still insist that the summer should be a really exciting time. If not like a full-blown bull market, at least it'll be like a really nice, like Bitcoin, to 100K, give or take. Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way, I appreciate that. And that's where you can really take some solid chips off the table. Finally, the money that we've been hoping to get like the last year or more should be coming in this summer. So I'm sticking to that. At least for the majority of like, the top blue chip alts, let's say in the top 20, the top 50, the ones oh, thanks again for the like, really appreciate that. Your Doges, your, XRP, XLM, Bitcoin Cash. By the way, oh, I just have to say, Bitcoin Cash, holy shit, this thing is on fire. I mean, no, it hasn't hit any new record highs, but compared to the rest of the alts, and even compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash is really on a tear. So I'm kind of seeing that as like a place of stability. If you want, risk to reward, you want a crypto that's stood the test of time, it's the original fork of Bitcoin. Was it from 2016 or something when it forked off? But and it has its own community. It's the same exact code, same supply as Bitcoin, 21 million, blah blah blah. And it's on pretty much every major exchange. It's faster, it's cheaper than Bitcoin. There's just so many fundamental great things. It has the branding, right? It has so many great things going for it. It's just, and above all, just the chart. The chart, BCH versus Bitcoin, has outperformed Bitcoin since like February so it's been like a year. So basically for the last year, I just realized that for the last year, Bitcoin Cash has been outperforming Bitcoin, like on the long-term trend, long-term chart. So there's no arguing that. Say whatever you want about Bitcoin Cash and how much it's, it's not the same as Bitcoin or what. You can't argue with the chart. For the last year, it's been simply outperforming Bitcoin. So I'm stacking Bitcoin Cash personally if I want, the best risk to reward out there and, have a better upside than like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but was still taking very little risk. I'm looking at Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so now that those are my predictions. Okay, short term, we're almost at the bottom, and longer to medium term, the summer should be really, really good. All right, for the alts, and we should have like at least a mini altcoin season. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, I'm going to get into the true story of how I lost 1.1 Bitcoin. So as bad of as a time you guys are having with cryptos and, looking at your everyday that your portfolio's balance is worth less, at least you didn't lose 1.1 Bitcoin. Okay. So, by the way, give me a thumbs up if you want to show me a little bit of support and love. This was a very difficult, I know I say this with a smile now because this was years ago. But it sure as hell was not easy to get over for the longest time. I mean, especially back then when, Bitcoin was, I think it was worth maybe like 10K, give or take. And then it was 12K. And then just like watch it go higher and higher. And like knowing that I didn't have access to it, it was, oh. But hey, hello, Burger. Thanks for swinging by. So here's what happened. I was trying to get maybe this is back, definitely before 2020, maybe it's 2018, 2017, something like that. But yeah, trying to get my parents into it, my family and friends and everyone. And I had convinced my mom to get into Bitcoin. And I think Bitcoin was even like maybe a couple grand at the time, $2,000 or $3,000. Which still, I mean, it's still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, especially for someone who doesn't really know anything about crypto or believe in it. But I mean, that's a drop in the bucket compared to where it went after, right? So I got it. Let's just say 2K. So I got my mom into Bitcoin when it was 2K, and I wanted to I don't know, help her out or so. So I put like 0.1. So it was 1 Bitcoin of hers, and then I put 0.1 Bitcoin, so a tenth of a Bitcoin, into this like shared wallet that we had. And I still remember the name. I don't even know if it's around anymore, but I remember the name of the wallet. It's like, burned into my skull. It was called Copay. So you can look this up if it's still around. But the whole idea, it's like a shared wallet that you want to use with let's say, close, family member, friend, business partner, whoever, someone you trust. And it's like, when you send out a nuclear missile, you can't send it until both people, two people have to turn the key or 2 people press the button, whatever. So that's the idea, but think of it as like a crypto wallet. So once the crypto is in there, in this case, Bitcoin, you could not send the Bitcoin out, right? So you could not essentially have the keys, except it was shared. So 2 people had to have it, or 2 people had to click to confirm the transaction or whatever. Okay, so Yeah, we put the 1.1 Bitcoin and it just sat there. I didn't like this was kind of like a longer term hold, and my mom what she wasn't looking to trade it or whatever. And so we watched it slow and steady grow in value. And yeah, so it was very exciting to see, wow, like, double, triple in value. I think maybe like say after it tripled, like so she was already up several $1,000s. I don't know the exact price. Let's just say 6K, right? So she bought it at 2K. It was worth 6K or more. It was 1.1 Bitcoin. And we're like, okay, she wanted at least she had some bills to pay, like at least to maybe not all of it, but like sell some of it. At least, sell her initial investment or something, like cash it out. I was like, okay, great. I think that's a great time to do it. You should reward yourself, like good job and keep some in Bitcoin and okay, let's do this. So, sell the rest of it and put it in the bank and you can use it. And isn't crypto great, right? So you can probably see where this is going. Drum roll. Brrr. Did we both have the keys to Bitcoin, to the wallet? No, we did not. No. Surprise, surprise. Give me a thumbs up if you feel pity for me. Is crypto food? Well, I don't get what you're saying, bro. But yeah, I'm telling a story right now. I'm happy to answer your questions, but let me just finish the story real quick. So I don't know what you mean. What is it? But anyway, yeah. So we had 1.1 Bitcoin at the time. Let's say it was worth 6,000 ish, $6,000. I had the keys to my share of the wallet, my side of the copay wallet. I was like, okay, and I had it on my phone. Like, okay, I click confirm. All right, mom, now you just got to click confirm on yours. And she's like, oh, what was the name of it? Like a Coinbase? Coinbase is the app? I was like, no, it's not. It's called copay. And she's like, oh, I deleted that months ago. I forgot it was just sitting on my phone and I didn't know what it was, so I just deleted it. I was like, are you serious? Yeah, I owe it some money. Yeah. I was like, really, mom? You deleted? I was like, okay. I was like, just okay, breathe, take a deep breath. I was like, it's not to worry. I was just trying to like stay calm. I remember when we set up the wallet, I had you write down these like words, I don't know, whatever, 12 or 24, security words. And we're going to use these words and we're going to restore. As long as you have these words, it's like having the keys to the wallet. So we're going to get your Bitcoin. No worries. Let's find it. So she found like the notebook. At first she couldn't. She's not very organized. She looked all over her office and finally she found the notebook where she wrote down the words. I was like, okay, great. This is going to have a happy ending. All right, give me, let's put in the words. And we I put in the words and sure enough, the wallet opened. But was there the 1.1? No, there was zero Bitcoin in it. And what turned out what it was is that with this copay wallet, I guess there were multiple Bitcoin wallets within in the same account. And she had accidentally, because I wasn't physically next to her when she was doing this, like I was living in another city. So we just did this on the phone and she had just saved the security words to a different wallet within that app or something. So she just saved a wallet. It was so, oh my God. I'm getting frustrated just telling this story, but oh man, that was rough. So yeah, so she saved the keys to a wallet that had zero in it. And so the wallet with the 1.1 Bitcoin, she actually did not back up. And it didn't matter that I had backed up my side of it or something because you needed both two people like needed to have the keys or needed to have the, let's say access to it. So, yeah, what you're saying, can I buy crypto for $25? I only have $115 to my name. Yeah, you can buy any crypto in any amount. So, yeah. Anyway, so that was the true sad story of how we lost. And believe me, she looked, and just to finish up the story, she looked everywhere for this thing, just in case maybe, she wrote it. So she scoured her whole office and she was like asking me all these questions. Oh, maybe I could do this or I could do that. And I was like, I don't think so. I'm sorry. I think it's gone. I was like, and she's like, I don't like this Bitcoin thing. I was like, well, you would have liked it. You would have I don't know, 50 times your money had you not, had you backed it up correctly. But I kind of blame, at least I have to take part of the blame. So the moral of the story is do not help your elderly parents. Do not trust them with crypto seed phrases and setting up crypto type accounts if you're not physically like right there with them and you hold their hand literally every step of the way and you make sure things are triple backed up and that it doesn't rely on them saving seed words. Or if anything, maybe it's that you help them set up a Kraken or a Coinbase account or something like that, where they don't actually have to have seed phrases. It's like an actual like a bank account, like you have a login password and you can reset it. You know what I mean? Not like a private wallet. So yeah, that was pretty rough. But hey, at least hopefully that makes you guys feel better out there. For all those of you sitting on bloody bags, if you're down 50%, you're down 60, 70, 80, 90%, at least you didn't lose 1.1 Bitcoin, right? Because no matter how much the market fluctuates, I'm never getting that back. So yeah, just a sad but true horror story of many actually. I have many more stories. I've made a few other YouTube videos. You can look on my channel. I've told some true stories, and I'll probably tell more in the future. But I've literally made like every mistake in the book. So and would have multi millions had I done things differently. But it is you live and you learn. So anyway. All right, let's see, reading through the questions before we end the video. Okay, yeah, I already read that one. Can I buy crypto for 25 bucks? I only have 115 bucks to my name. So the answer to that is yes, you can buy crypto for any $1, $100,000, $1 million. It doesn't matter because crypto is typically divisible no matter how much amount you put in or how little you put in. So anyway, any last questions before I end the stream? Just while I head out, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hang in there. I know this is a rough time for everyone, including myself. I mean, believe me, I'm definitely overinvested in crypto. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm just like you guys. I'm hanging in there and doing my best to, just to grind away, making money and like doing freelance work. And I got a job interview tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes for some kind of customer support job. But yeah, just whatever I can do so I don't have to touch my bloody bags right now and let them at least get back to, like I said, Bitcoin at least getting back to the 80K region before I consider taking any significant amount of crypto off the table. All right, so yeah. Thumbs up again for the support. Thank you guys for being there with me, and we're gonna be much happier. Like I said, next couple months I'm expecting a little bit of a relief bounce, and then again the summer is where it's going to get really exciting, and we're gonna have a serious like profit taking opportunity where I expect a lot of the large caps altcoins to at least have 3, 4, or 5 times. If not more, from where they are now. So like, let's say DOGE to 40 or 50 cents, Bitcoin Cash over $1,000, at least, $1,200, maybe $1,500, XRP over $3 again, $4 or $5. I would say maybe even closer to $10, right? Once we really get in that final, because Bitcoin dominance is overdue to drop. That's for sure. So yeah, all that exciting stuff should happen in the summer. Until then, hang in there. Have a good one. And thanks for swinging by. Have an awesome rest of your evening, morning, night, wherever you are in this world. And I'll see you in the next